This is the Feiyu Tech SCORP C2. This is a camera stabilizing gimbal. I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $250. They haven't paid me for my review, and my opinion remains my own. Now, I have previously reviewed a Ronin RS4 stabilizer, which costs about 3 times as much as this guy does. So I'm going to be in the back of my mind kind of comparing it, but it's really a much cheaper product overall. Alright, so in the box we have a couple of smaller boxes with lots of accessories. There's a little tripod hand base here, and then several camera mounting brackets, camera supports, a couple of USB cables, just a couple of more things to latch in and hook to cameras and hook up cameras in various ways. And then there is the main gimbal here. And if you have seen other companies' gimbals, it looks kind of similar in that it has the 3 axes to kind of move the camera and counteract motion. It does have this handle on the back you can kind of carry with it, you can control with it, and then the handle on the bottom. Right, so it has a couple of cards with links to social media. The thing that says, please do not power on the gimbal until balancing and installation of the camera has been done. And then it comes with a little fold-out page here that has, here's your 6 steps for setting it up and balancing it. There is also a QR code to get their app, the SCORP app for iOS or Android. So step 1 is to unlock the axes, and there's 2 different unlocking mechanisms. There's this mechanism here for adjusting balance, and then there's unlock of kind of the motor gimbals, which is this thing here that lets that spin around. And so on this guy here, it's down there, and then on this one up here, it's right there. And so now it is unlocked and can move around. All right, so the instructions here have a 1, a 2. They seem to skip a 3. I don't see it anywhere, but there's a 4, and there's 5, 6, 7. And then within those, they also have step 1, except it's spelled SETP. So there's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here they go 1, 3, 4. So I'm not sure if it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I think the ordering is we do this stuff and then we do that stuff. But we seem to be missing a number 3 in here somewhere. All right, step 2 is mounting the camera, and you'll need this plate to mount to the bottom of the camera, this little L bracket to mount into there, and then you're going to need a screw to go through this plate into the camera, and I believe that can be found in this little bag of screws down here. All right, so we have the camera mounting screw here. There's a little arrow here, and it will fit and screw into this plate over at the side here where there's the round bit. So if you have trouble getting that in with your fingers, they also have a little Allen wrench that will go in here. It also has kind of a flat-headed screwdriver slot if you have a screwdriver or one of those tools for turning that. Once you screw it in, it'll go back and forth. It's relatively captive, it won't fall out. I'm using a Sony A6300 camera. The weight limit on this guy is about 7.7 pounds. This is under 2 pounds, so it's well within the weight limit. And their picture has this guy going on mounted sideways to the camera. Alright, so the bottom plate's on the camera. Now this guy will grab the camera plate with the cam, but before we do that we have to put it on the gimbal. And so on the gimbal here they have this latch, we can unlock that. There's a little latch here with an arrow pointing down, so this guy slides in like that, snaps past the latch, and now it's captured there. And so to take it out again, you can push this in and slide it up, but that keeps it from accidentally falling off if this were to come loose. So once that's captured in place, you can basically move this up and down to balance the camera. So the next piece is this guy. There's an icon there that says, hey, your camera lens is going to point along this. This little guy here will grab that plate on the bottom of the camera, and it comes in this way here. There's a pin here that's the release pin. You don't have to push it to get it in. It'll go in, it'll snap, and it's snapped in there. And now you might notice this guy is spinning when it moves. So that guy there will turn it forward and backwards. If you push it, it will spin this, but I think you're kind of supposed to use that. And then this guy here locks it in place, so that does have to be open before you put it in. So now we have the extra parts added, that L bracket and this guy here, and then the plate to your camera, so you can now put the camera on that plate. This guy here will slide in. And you definitely want to not drop your camera while you're doing this. Alright, so once you get that tightened in, camera doesn't move anywhere. Now, if I loosen this slightly, I can slide the camera back and forth, and it's latched in place while it's sliding. There's a small white line up here that I can see just sticking out from under my camera, where I can figure out how far in and out I want that to go. And then you can just latch it down by turning this guy. Now to release your camera, you unscrew this guy farther and it just comes right off. So there's no real catch there that you have to push a button or anything to keep your camera from falling out. You just have to make darn sure this guy is tightened all the way and is not loose. Now they also include this foam rubber up here, a little Y-shaped piece with this screw that is a lens support attachment, and that will go into the front of this slide. So you can basically put your lens on there and then screw this into the hole. There's 3 holes. I'm using the center hole, and kind of give your lens a little bit of support so it's not wobbling around, and tighten that down. And there's 2 notches there, so if you had like a big screwdriver or a flat piece of something to turn it, you could turn it a little more. I just did finger tighten. It seems to be holding pretty well. So now you have that kind of holding your lens up a little bit. It's only really necessary if you have a longer lens on your camera. All right, we have the camera mounted. We're moving on to step 4. And basically they say lock 2 of these and unlock the 3rd one, and then slide it back and forth till it's balanced. Now I have also added on this little fold out tripod foot thing here to kind of hold that for me while I'm doing this procedure. Alright, so I have the bottom lock and the middle lock locked, and we're working on this axis here, and there's actually 2 things having to do with this axis. So one is my lens is heavy, and so my whole camera needs to be shifted back to balance it this way. But the one they want you to actually do first is this guy here back and forth to get the entire camera assembly kind of balanced this way. And so you can move that to the unlock position, and then this guy will slide, and we're trying to get it such that it balances that way. And now we can rotate it up here, and you can see it wants to roll forward. So now we can use this knob, and we have to unlock this guy. So I'm going to go backwards a bit. And what we want it to do is to not fall backwards and to not fall frontwards. So kind of have it right there. I'm going to lock that in place. And so the idea here is that the motor doesn't have to work very hard to move it around this way. So you can see that if I push it, it kind of just sits and stays wherever I leave it. So there's not like gravity forces working against the motor. So now we have this guy balanced, and then we have to work on this one and that one. And also of note, there's a little sticker here that says this side up. So if you have it flipped the opposite way, you're doing it wrong. So make sure this sticker is up while you're balancing and when you first started out and that type of thing. All right, now we want this guy to be balanced along that axis. And so we are supposed to lock A up here and unlock B down there. And now this thing wants to flip over to that side because this side's heavier than that side. So to fix that, we open this up, we push it in, we find a place where it doesn't want to do that anymore. And there's no knob to turn, you just have to kind of, you lock it in place and test it, and then maybe push in a little more. And now it's falling the other way, so I went too far. So that right there is 6. I'm going to go back to 5.5, move it to 5, and now it's falling down on 5, but not very fast. So I think it's going to be somewhere between 5 and 5.5. So there's pretty good, I think. So now you can see, you leave it here, it sits there. You leave it here, it sits there. It's not really falling in any one particular direction. All right, so we have that axis balanced. We're going to lock that in place. And then we do this guy here. All right, so to do the bottom one, when you unlock it, it just spins like that. It's not really detecting gravity, so you kind of have to turn it and have it kind of at an angle and see how it works. And it seems like it's wanting to go that way. It might need to come back a little bit. So I'm going to move it back a couple of notches, lock it in, put it on there. So now you see I'm rotating it around. If I stop it at one position, it mostly holds there. So I think that's pretty good. I'm going to try moving it forward and backwards, but I'm remembering that's kind of like 2 and 2.5. So that's about 2 1/4. This is 2.5. And so that seemed to fall down. Like if I have it up here or over there, it rotates down. So I'm going to move it back to where it was, which is closer to 2 1/4. When I put it sideways, now it's not rotating down. It might be rotating up just slightly. So I think I have it pretty well done. I'm just going to move it in just slightly. All right, that works pretty well. I think I'm pretty good. I'm going to unlock all of the axes. And what you want is this thing to not really move with the axes unlocked. You can push it at a particular direction and point it, and it'll just pretty much stay where it is. Now you can notice if I tilt it, it's not really rotating around too much. There it rotated a little, but we just need it enough so that the motors can counteract the weight of the camera. And obviously, the heavier your camera is, the more accurate your balance needs to be. I have a 2-pound camera, so my balance, I'm pretty happy with it where it is right now, but I don't feel like it needs to be, a lot better than this. I think I did a pretty good job, but if you had a 7-pound camera, you might want to really put a lot of effort into balancing it. But now, we're pretty much balanced. Okay, so it's ready to turn on, but we have to unlock everything. So that one, this one, and this one, all 3 axes are unlocked, and there is the power button here, and you push and hold the power button for 2 seconds. It beeps, it rotates, and now it is actively stabilizing the camera.